Kid, you trust me?
No.
Good.
Some little asshole.
Using to cushion his fall. I'm gonna use you.
And as big as his ass is, he would have threw that motherfucker across the city. All right, everybody, your boy Thor traded in that hammer for a gun. A lot of them, actually. He's like, damn, why didn't I do this sooner? You can kill a lot more people with these.
It's a lot easier.
Instead of this goddamn this Home Depot tool I got over here. These guns are nice. We're talking about this movie, Extraction. Now, some poor souls out there, they're gonna look at this movie and probably read up on it or look at the credits in the trailer or something, and they're gonna see that the Russo brothers were involved in this. They produced this. Joe Russo, Joey, he wrote the script.
That's right.
For this
Screenplay.
I don't think there was much writing involved.
He shoots the guy, and he shoots the next guy.
The thing is, this had been around for a long time.
Oh. Yeah. Well, you know,
so if he did anything, he did rewrites on it.
Yeah. What was every page? Kill, blood, kill.
Cut something off.
Yeah.
Those kind of scenes. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So y'all looking at that, and y'all talking about, wait a minute, you know, the Russo brothers, man, those guys are deep. You know, you talking about the same guy that made Thanos so deep and reflective. He's the guy that brought depth to fat ass Thor. Everybody was laughing at him, and then we all like, oh, Jesus, we shouldn't body shame him like that. He has feelings.
Bad about it.
Yeah, Jesus. Oh, now look, we made him cry. Yeah. Oh. Why did we do that? Yeah. He actually made us feel.
He did.
Drama for Fat Thor. Y'all thinking like, oh shit, I can't wait to see what kind of depth and thoughtfulness that they bring to the action genre right here. If you're someone who likes your action porn heavy on the blood, light on the story, you know, people watch porn and like, man, I'm just here to see two people have sex. I don't care about this story. Well, you know what? This is kind of the equivalent of that, but it's kind of like, I'm just here to see Thor kill a bunch of brown motherfuckers.
You're going to get plenty of that.
You're going to get plenty of that, and then some. If that's what you were here for. You have the son of a Indian drug lord who his rival is another drug lord over in Bangladesh. And, you know, just to with this guy. Nothing even deep. He just, you know what, I don't want no money or anything. I'm gonna take a little nerdy ass kid.
It really is like that.
It really is.
Yeah. I mean, spent immeasurable resources just to kidnap this guy's kid and torture him.
It's insult to injury.
It really is.
That's what it is.
He's like, you know what? I'm not doing this for any kind of ransom.
No.
I'm not doing this for any kind of message. You know what? Shits and giggles.
It's a good in-joke among my people.
Yeah. Yeah, I might give them up back. I might not. I don't know. It depends on how I feel. Yeah, I'm just messing with you. You know, but that, I mean, there's a good chance I'm not probably going to give them back. And that's why they got to call in a mercenary by the name of Tyler Rake, whose name is Destiny because, funny enough, he kills people with a rake.
He does. They pointed out, too.
And they pointed out.
There's a rake.
They're like, I like his name. And God's like, even the guy when he's done, he's like, this is just like your last name.
I get it now.
This is why they call you the rake. I was like, wow, no subtlety in this shit at all.
Like, don't you think this is a bit on the nose?
Just a little bit. Oh, yeah, on your nose, on your eyes, on your mouth. You ain't got no teeth. You know, they get Tyler Rake, who's hired to bring this kid back safe. And he does this by killing a shitload of people. It is truly that simple, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't get any more complicated than that. Now, that doesn't mean anything. Nobody's looking for every movie to have a deep, profound message. Some people say, fuck it, I'm not even looking for a plot.
Just want to be entertained.
Yeah, I just want to be entertained. Does it keep moving? Do they keep piling on the bodies? A lot of, you know, am I soaked and covered in blood by the end of this? Cool. I'm up for that. Is that the case here? Or is this just another empty action film with nothing to offer at all except senseless violence? Who needs that at this time? We all are trying to help each other feel better. Is this going to help out? I don't know. Let's go ahead and take a look at the trailer for Extraction.
Kid, you trust me?
No.
Good.
Some little asshole.
Using to cushion his fall. I'm gonna use you.
And as big as his ass is, he would have threw that motherfucker across the city. That motherfucker a dot over the horizon. No, wait a minute.
And those Thor powers at work.
Sometimes I do other things.
Let me just say this first of all, something a little aside, something I noticed here, something kind of funny. It is funny to me that if you're in a movie called Extraction, you are required by some law just to beat the shit out of people or get your ass beat.
Me too.
Probably both.
This is a 2015 movie, and I was looking at this, and I didn't even know what I thought. I was still looking at Extraction. I was like, God damn, Chris Hemsworth has a shitty stuntman.
Nothing like him.
They're not even anything like him. They're not even trying to hide it.
And the same accent or anything.
I was like, wow, man, this is a fucking movie I've ever seen.
He's about 2 feet shorter.
But I should have known the difference, because if this was the Extraction that is on Netflix, that car would have been covered in blood.
Yes.
They wouldn't even be able to see where they were going.
And dead brown people, as you said.
And dead brown people. There would be no other white people in there.
No.
Be dead. No. There's a bunch of dead brown limbs in there. This is another movie where the hero just goes berserk because he lost family members.
He has nothing to live for anymore.
He has nothing to live for anymore. Yep. It's it's one of those movies where by the end of the movie, Chris Hemsworth is just caked in blood.
His blood, other people's blood. Everything.
Most of it is other people's blood. Mm-hmm. But yeah, there's by the end of the movie, he is covered in blood. He leaves a snail trail.
He really does.
Of blood behind him.
He's just leaking.
He's just leaking blood. Yeah, it's just a big old long path of blood. Like if you want to find him in this movie, just look for the trail of blood that's left behind.
It's very easy to too.
It's not hard at all.
Him that, yeah.
Not hard at all.
There's also the explosions and the destruction and the path of destruction that he leaves as well.
Oh yeah, just follow the smoke.
Because there's some scenes where there's people looking in binoculars and they just see where all the fires are. So you're like, all right, he's right there.
Mark, you were absolutely right.
Yeah.
There's so many scenes of just anyone with binoculars. He's there.
Yeah.
So he's just be subtle, goddammit.
Yeah, he's right there. How do you know? Because there's a mushroom cloud just going up in there right now. Because he just threw a Bangladesh kid across the city.
Yeah.
This is so insane. It is one of those movies where the hero goes so berserk that you kinda, not really, but you almost kind of feel bad for the bad guys.
It is one of these things where normally I get kind of cheesed off because I'm like, man, the henchmen always are the ones who have to die so horribly. But I was like, well, they are all corrupt, so.
Yeah, no, they are.
Are they though? Are they?
Yeah, you wonder.
Yeah,
well, there's an argument for that to be made that why they might be corrupt.
Some
or something.
people might just be doing their jobs because they're giving orders, and it's like, oh shit, this white guy, and my brain explodes.
But their order is to find this kid and kill him.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, but then again, it's like somebody put a gun to their head and said, if you don't kill this kid, we're going to kill your kid. We're going to kill your wife.
And
do you have a cousin that lives across? We're going to find him and going to kill him too. I knew that these bad guys were done early on when, early on in the movie when, before even Chris Hemsworth picked up a gun. Chris Hemsworth, by the way, who in the beginning of the movie, they try to tell you, hey, look, physics ain't going to be shit here either. Because right at the beginning, when he's introduced, the Thor. Don't nobody land like that unless they're a god.
Superhero landing.
He's superhero landed underwater.
People need to know this, I think. If you're hitting water at that level, it's like hitting concrete. You would explode.
Not if
on
you're
the
a
surface
god.
That level. No, it's true. Not if you're Chris Hemsworth, at the very least.
You know what? I Chris, as much as I want to go along with what you're saying, there are cliff divers who do that.
Damn. Jesus. I will not be one of those divers.
See that door? Get out.
I got disproven.
Oh,
scientific fact.
You and your science. Take that, science. He starts having flashbacks of some kid, and it's like, oh shit, this dude has a family tragedy. And that's when I knew. I was like, ooh, these villains. These villains are. Oh,
get in his way. Don't approach him. Don't say hi.
ooh, you mean he lost somebody that was dear to him, and now he's suicidal too? Oh, yeah. Ooh, you are double.
That's
right
a
now.
cocktail of anger right there.
That's a cocktail of. Hey, I was just. This is what I was gonna point out right here, man. The heroes are anti-heroes who have nothing to lose. The ones who do the most damage. Yep. The ones who are these motherfuckers might as well be Terminators if they lose a family member. It really is. All these crazy ass people. Who was it? I can go all the way back to something like Lethal Weapon. Mel Gibson lost his shit when he lost his wife.
That's right. That's true.
John Wick lost his dog and his wife and his car. He's like the world. Punisher, we know him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, shit. He lost his kids in the park, and he's like, I ain't gonna be right no more.
It's the prototype for all that.
I'm crazy as. That's my excuse. With crazy characters like that, crazy anti-heroes, crazy heroes, the tragic hero. You know, a lot of times when we have that, one of the things we do get, if everything is played right, we get some great action. And I think that's what we get right here, man. The action is so well choreographed on all fronts, man, on everything. And one of the main reasons why I believe is because of the director. It's more impressive that this is the first time director.
Wow.
Yeah, first time. I couldn't believe it.
Sam Hargrave, which of course he's good at action because he looks like Wolverine.
He does.
He's handsome.
He probably kills bad guys in real life. We don't know. That's why he's so good at this. But he was a stunt man.
Ah, okay.
So
Makes perfect
know.
sense.
He would know.
He would know. Okay. The guy that directed John Wick was a stunt man. I believe. So, hey, man, if you want a guy that can go in and do action, get a guy like Sam Hargrave, the guy that directed John Wick. Get somebody who's been, because this guy knows. You can look at this movie and tell, all right, this guy, this director right here, Sam Hargrave, this dude has been stabbed, blown up, hit by cars, trucks. He's been thrown from buildings. This fool's been set on fire. He's probably had a bullet in his ass a couple of times.
And that was on the way to work.
And that was on the way. I was getting coffee. Because he nails it all, man. He nails the gunplay and the gunfights and the gun battles. He nails the hand-to-hand combat. All of that would be completely stupid if it wasn't so nonstop, man.
Well, it's like 1917 where it's the continuous shot.
Yep.
Because I know me watching this with the setup, I'm like, all right, it's pretty generic and very direct to video story wise, and the characters are nothing special. But it starts out with that one action scene that goes on for 11 minutes as I'm sure it's fake, but it's a continuous shot. They had my attention, and I was sitting there with my eyes wide and my jaw open, especially when you get the other special forces guy against Chris Hemsworth. I was like, okay, now y'all have made this something where it's not just the one-man army against a bunch of henchmen. And the shit is almost like a Roadrunner cartoon, except in the best way possible.
No, it keeps going, man. It keeps going and going. There's a scene here where these dudes, they get into a gun battle, then a car chase, then they get thrown off a building, and then they get back up, and they get hit by cars and trucks.
That's
multiple times.
Multiple times, and it's just like, hold on, we ain't done yet. Then they pull out the blades.
Oh, I love that.
And it's like, all right, we already had a fist fight. Now it's time to go into a knife fight. Hey, y'all get out the way. We got to go to work.
I mean, like momentary.
For the
sorry.
innocent bystanders and let them go by.
Yeah, I like the way he was like. Even Chris was like, "God damn, they really got to get somewhere." Yeah. I like the way in Bangladesh, two big ass dudes, having a knife fight in the middle of the street is not the craziest thing these people have seen.
They're like, all right, here we go.
These people are like, yeah, get the out the way, man. Jesus, every day with this.
What I actually really like about this action scene is that clearly it's taken a lot from stuff like John Wick and Man on Fire. And it's showing that, these guys are badasses, but they're so exhausted fighting. You can tell obviously this is directed by a person who understands action choreography. And it's those subtle things that make it so realistic and why scenes like this work so incredibly well.
Everybody's talking about the gimmick of the one continuous shot. which, as we all know, is not always one continuous shot.
Well, they hide it with CGI.
They hide it with
You
CGI.
can tell.
In things like 1917. Like, I'm a sucker for this kind of thing, man, because it takes a lot of thought and it looks amazing. And it puts you right in the middle of the action. They do it here too. And more than 1917. Look, 1917, they had quiet moments. This has them rarely. You were right here. Whenever there's an action scene, you were not a bystander. You were dodging and trying not to get cut by that blade. You were in the middle of that fight. Yeah. You know, you were right there just trying to dodge fist. They did the trickery with CGI. You know, where like in something like 1917, they did it at spots where it went dark.
Black, yeah. Entering a door or something.
Yeah. And they handed it off at some parts where it looked like it was convenient to cut. But the one track thing that they do here is incredible, man, because it's just the different sets that they go to, the different scenarios. They go from a shootout in a forest to a car chase in the streets to a gun battle in several people's apartments. They just go up in people's houses and people just kind of like, oh shit, again. You know, but like I said, they do this every day in this town. They go to a fist fight
because it's places where they make the wrong turn and have to back up.
Oh yeah,
you never see that.
Oh yeah, they run like this kid. There's a part where the kid that Chris Hemsworth is trying to save, where they split from Chris Hemsworth, and you following him, getting attacked by somebody, and he goes into a dead end. And then they get back to Chris Hemsworth, and when they get back to Chris Hemsworth, they get into another fist fight, and then they fall off a roof, and then they end up a knife fight. And it's just like, Jesus Christ, man. This is amazing. I don't care what anybody says. You can talk about how shallow this shit is, and I probably wouldn't argue with you, but you got to give it to him for the craftsmanship here.
No, exactly.
That's totally
it's
how
the choreography.
It's like with the raid. The raid is not really all that special as a story, but it's the action that makes it that thing that's so memorable.
You know, they go full superhero.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a guy that gets hit. He gets hit by a car a couple of times, but he gets hit by a truck, not a car, a truck. And he gets back up. You're like, I ain't got time to think about this shit. You know, I got to keep going. It was like Joe Russo was writing another Avengers movie.
Yeah.
I mean, there are moments where he just said, shit, you know what? I got shit I want to do in Avengers, and I got to get it out here right here.
It's like Joe, they don't have superpowers. What? Well, that's all I know how to do. Somebody said something. Sorry.
You got to get out of this situation somehow. You know, kill a bunch of people and take major hits that only Captain America could take. And even Captain America would be like, oh, shit.
And he even does those in those movies.
Yeah, man. You said it, man. There's a moment in this film where they really do try to like stop for a moment and have some story. And they just go like, you know what, f it. And they just start blowing up stuff.
Yeah. Well, even like when they try to have conversations and eventually they throw in a specific element that says, okay, stop with the talking. Let's just fight each other in the kitchen. And I love this kind of thing. I like that. I think it's kind of fun.
Nah, man, you know, I tell you, this is easier to accept when you do realize, because we're talking about how they were writing another comic book movie.
Yeah.
The Avengers. This is based, now you can call it what you want to. This is, you know, some people are going to say comic book, and some people say graphic novel. This is based on a graphic novel called Cuidad. I don't know where it was set. I've never read it, but I know that instead of a kid, I think it was a woman that this guy was trying to help out. There was some love thing going on. But they do say that it was violent as hell, man. You know, as sometimes they'll start to take themselves a little too seriously, and I don't mind this trying to be a drama at certain points. I really don't. I'm not complaining about that at all, because I admire for somebody trying to take what they're doing seriously and not just saying, hey, we're just doing something dumb. I respect what they're trying to do, but
it's not terrible. It's not bad. It's by the numbers though.
It is.
I think that's why it's like, just get back to the action.
It's not enough character in order to like carry the drama through.
Especially when we've always seen, you know, the Chris Hemsworth type character, whoever it is in that specific lead role. He lost someone. He's estranged from his wife, and he's doing this not for money anymore, but to help this kid because he feels inspired by him, or he sees his son or daughter. And it's like, you see that so often. And there has been actions and dramas that have done that so much better. And this one's, again, it's just kind of generic. And that's why I kind of, stop this and let's do it like a little twist, and we can get back to the fighting.
They're trying to make Call of Duty with a heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because I would say the problem is that everything that's character that you learn about everybody, you learn it in the first act, and in the next two acts, nothing changed, nothing develops. You don't learn anything new.
No, and there's things they should follow up with, and they just drop that shit. Yeah. They like, hey, we blew that shit up along with the city back there. We don't see anything else. I have to say, you know, I'm talking about the drama and how It's just not enough character development to sustain what kind of drama they're doing. But for me, the funny thing about that is that Chris Hemsworth, this is probably one of his best dramatic performances in a long time.
True. He brings a lot to this where you're like, man, you really showed up. I don't know about everybody else, but yeah, maybe you thought this was your last shot.
You know, I mean, this is at least with him having to, you know, being able to be dramatic and bringing some range to that without having to be goofy.
Sure.
Or do some like funny Thor stuff or Man in Black type shit. And he milks it for what it's worth. Anytime they stop, he's either thinking hard about some deep shit or he's crying his ass off.
He's definitely crying.
He's crying.
He's emoting it like crazy throughout this movie.
Every time they stop to get a breather. You know, like, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, somebody
like
asked me, hey, you want a drink? Yes. Like, Jesus, man.
I'm going through some shit.
Hey, buddy, good to see you. Good to see you too. Yeah, man. God damn. Yeah. He takes every moment to put some drama in this. He's like, you know, because he's almost saying, like, this is going to be my only chance. You know, this is my last time I get to have some range. And it's good for him, man. Don't let this tender scene right here make you think that he won't f the kid up. You see him hugging that kid right there?
I love that.
Boy, there's a part in here now. He's like, look, I ain't going to go to jail over you little motherfucker, but I'm going to slap and kick every last one of you sons of bitches. He kills, and it's almost a comedic scene. It's a scene that could have easily gone to some slapstick or silliness, but he was able to make this scene something where it didn't seem cruel and it was funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He was flummoxed.
He was slapping the shit out these kids.
Yeah. Backhanding them, forehanding
them and calling them, you little motherfucker. He looked genuinely confused. He looked like he didn't know that this was part of the script. He's like, y'all really got me fighting kids for real.
Gotta beat the shit out of this 9-year-old who's trying to use this gun against me.
Y'all got me smacking 9-year-olds with a gun, and that's the only thing they show you. They like, yeah, look, you know, it's bad that they gotta kick the shit out of these kids, but they got guns. Yeah. And
that's like, listen, I know the movie wants to, you know, have its cake and eat it too, but it's like, you probably should have killed those kids. When you think about it. It's like, it didn't go that necessarily, but these kids are also trying to kill you. And that's kind of the point of the movie. I'm like, all right, like what we know about this guy, you're holding back of what he was initially doing with all these other people, even though they're trying to kill him at the same time, just because they're kids.
We have to like him.
I know, and that's the thing. It wants.
This is not Beast of No Nation. Come on,
maybe I wanted that. Yeah, that would have been.
You want a combination of Thor and Beast of No Nation?
Hell yeah, man.
What were you saying, Martin?
Oh, it just speaks to him having a code. And clearly had a thing where, like, all right, no kids.
Kids, like they're little demons.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
I mean, they were like actively trying to kill him throughout the entire movie. Like, hold on, let me get the gun reloaded. God damn it, Thor! And he's
man, like, there was a point where they showed the villains, and the villains are some mother. They throw kids off buildings, man.
Shit,
I know.
They don't care.
And at first I was like, hey, man, that ain't right. And then I saw these kids with these guns. I was like, oh, no, man, they doing the city a favor right now. There was a scene where this is the only time I felt bad for a kid. He took a little kid, and took a car door and said, slam! And you heard that little voice, I was like, yeah, you little shit.
The siren went off.
He ain't gonna be pulling no triggers anytime soon.
I was like, no, he broke that little arm, man. There are some exceptions to this thing where I'm saying there's no character in this. It's just that it's in such small parts that you don't get to see them develop enough. And that's fine. They're good.
Yeah, and we've seen them before, though. That's the thing.
We see them all the time.
Yeah, we've seen it done better, I think.
But it's cool to see them, man. I mean, because these people are so good that they're able to actually live for a little time this up above the material. Mm-hmm. David Harbour, man.
He's great. He's the best part.
David Harbour's great in this. Again, David Harbour brings in some dark moments, because this guy's been through some shit.
He's the best dramatic moment in the film.
He really is. Mm-hmm. And I like the way they don't tell you what's happened with him.
Yep.
But he's seen some dark shit, man. And he's a complete badass.
He is.
This, man.
It's dad bod versus the bod.
This fool said, don't let this dad bod fool your ass.
I'll f you up.
Don't let this dad bod get your ass whooped. See, I won't say how, I won't say why, I'm not going to say anymore. I'm not going to get into detail, but he's a bad mother this movie, man.
He is.
Well, the thing is, I always knew he was a big guy, but it wasn't until he was next to Chris Hemsworth where I was like, shit, he's a behemoth.
Yeah. He pinned Chris Hemsworth down with his stomach.
You really say uncle. Uncle.
Uncle mate. He put that dad belt on him. He couldn't move.
A lot of dad bod on him.
He's good, man.
He is.
The girl in the movie, the woman, Golsieth for Ani.
Hot.
This movie, I like what they did, man. No girl power shit, nothing like that. This is what I'm talking about. Let the role speak for itself.
Yeah, she's a badass because we see her being a badass.
She said, yeah, she comes in here. Y'all saw in the trailer.
Yeah.
She takes a chopper out, man.
Sometimes.
And that's what her role is, handling shit. I don't think the person that's getting enough credit here because he has to play in the shadows.
Oh, that dude.
Of Chris Hemsworth, man. Randeep Hooda.
Yeah.
He should be getting more attention.
Well, I mean, he had a significant role, and it's rare they do something like this where you have a rival special forces guy who who they give enough backstory to where you go like, oh wait, I'm actually very sympathetic toward this guy. And if I want to see somebody in a spinoff, it's him.
I would love that too, man. You know, he's so good. He's a second lead in the movie pretty much. Mm-hmm. Like you follow, not as much as Chris Hemsworth, but you follow a storyline with him. He's the character they have so no one can get mad at Chris Hemsworth for killing a bunch of brown people. They're like, we got a brown person killing a bunch of brown people too.
Excuse.
He's kind of the way out of that, you know?
Yeah.
There's a lot of parts in the second movie where they go way too fast and they just don't follow up on his story. They just leave that shit behind.
You don't know what happens.
Yeah, but he's good, man. He's great in this. He's a great action guy. And had these really tender moments with his family that were very well. What did you think about the kid in the movie? The kid's name, and I'm going to mess this up. Rudraksh Jawal. I f***ed that all up. But what did you think about the kid in the movie?
I mean, personally, it just feels like a role that goes through the motions. I'm the kid. I don't like my dad. You know, I feel ignored. I don't feel like I'm being appreciated and everything. I'm caught in a situation I'm not used to. I'm bonding, you know, with my captor / savior. I mean, I've seen it before. It's not like it's a bad performance. It's just one I'm like, okay, I've seen this so many times at this point. It's like, all right, it's average.
I mean, Herman's right that this role comes around a lot, but I thought he added a little something to it in that I felt for him, and I like that they didn't make him. He wasn't hard-headed. He wasn't sassy. He realized his life is in danger, and he doesn't completely know who to trust, but he's going with the guy who seems to be killing the most people.
Yeah.
Who's ever on top?
And he doesn't know. Yeah,
he doesn't know, but he's going along. He's following directions.
Yeah,
and they have their moments. They aren't necessarily all that deep, but it's enough to carry it to where I never felt any animosity toward this kid.
Oh, you know what I like?
Often they write kids in a way where you do.
That's true.
You know what? Chris is right because the character goes through the motions. You know. But also,
I don't even blame the actor. I don't blame the actor.
I don't blame that. I think the kid is good. But one of the things what I like, I don't mind going through the motions of the things that you just said. You know, bonding with his captor. Having the cliches backstory. Because listen, the moment you saw this kid with a backpack walking to that nice ass house, it was like your little ass is gone.
I know.
Somebody's kidnapping you.
Yeah.
The villains, boy. Now this is where we get into things where they're like, all right, now you want to talk about some. Now let's get down to the bad shit in this. Okay. Let's get down to the shit that's just that. Like if we wanted to, we could say it's pretty awful. The villains ain't shit. Let me find my boy right
Talk
here.
About generic.
The generic ass villains in here. They're so generic. I couldn't even find the actor's name.
And sniveling.
That's what I don't like, man. I'm beginning to notice this. I don't like cool evil.
Thoughtful villains.
Me either.
Not thoughtful.
Philosophizing.
Ain't nothing. No, he ain't even like. It's cool. You know,
cool.
Where they don't emote. They're always looking at the ground. Can't even look in the eye, and they just don't deliver. They deliver their eyes with no emotion. Where's my money? You can talk. Sooner or later, I'll find your family. It's like, hey, I'm over here, man.
Yeah, man. That's one of the tropes I'm getting tired of is the villain that's so cool that they're just so relaxed because they're so in power. And these guys who run cartels or mafias that just have unlimited power and no strategy either.
The dude had the police force in his hands.
Military.
He had the military, he had the city on lockdown and lost half that shit because he had to piss this one dude off over here.
That one crazy Australian.
That one crazy, the only white dude in the city. You had to piss him off.
Shouldn't do that.
And I get it if this white dude is on a vendetta to come get you, but
Yeah.
he's just gonna take the kid and go about his business. So let him.
It's like, Jesus,
Cut your losses.
how small are y'all's dicks, man? This is some petty shit to where it don't even make sense. Stupid. The movie knows what its priority is. I'm gonna let you guys kind of run with what you want to after this, but we'll bring this up to a close. But please add on anything that you like. The movie knows its priority, right? So you don't walk into this with any kind of attitude because you should know what you're getting into. Now, the attitude would be justified if this really was bad in all areas. But there are some good performances in here. There are some characters that you really do like in this, but their priority is the action, and they did that well. Yeah, this is a solid matinee for me, man. I had fun with this.
It's still a fun film. I think it's definitely worth seeing on Netflix. That's the way to watch it. I don't think you need to necessarily go to the theater, and you can't go to the theater to watch this anyway. But I'm kind of right there with you, Cry. I would give this. It's a solid matinee.
All right, Martin.
You early on, it establishes what it is, and once it does that, man, the action. Corey, you brought up the right word. It's artistry. I feel like I might even go back and watch it again just for some of that action. It's just so well done. Yeah, it's a solid matinee. Even if I'd seen this in the theater, I think I'd be favorable towards it.
Yeah, I mean, the action's enough where on the big screen, I think it'd be kind of fun. You know, it's like I said, man. You know, you got to know what you're going in for. I mean, and you should, because I mean, what are you expecting? I mean, there are headlines that tell you Chris Hemsworth kills people. That's the movie. That's the you know what? That's the elevator pitch. Chris Hemsworth. I mean, it's the shortest elevator pitch you have. Chris Hemsworth goes to Bangladesh, kills everybody,
and kills everybody.
That's it.
One by one.
That is it.
Breaks bodies
so
and uses bodies to break bodies.
Just so you don't think he just drops a nuke on it.
No.
He kills them one by one.
Does the Falcon have it? No, none of that shit. No, he's off his meds and he kills a bunch of people. That's it. That's what I think I can tell you. Does that sell it to you? Then good. If you're walking away right now, then don't watch.